What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Tuned In Sports video. We're here tonight to talk a little NBA basketball with all of you. We're going to talk a little Clippers, a little Pistons, a little Avalanche, or
Nuggets?
Nuggets.
That's all right.
It's
Same
all
building,
the
same building. It's
Yeah,
all good.
no, it's all good. So, yeah, we're here to talk a little bit of everything with you guys tonight. I guess let's start with who's playing tonight, which would be I know the Nuggets are playing, right?
Yeah, they played Boston earlier tonight, so first game of a road trip. So didn't start off too well. Lost 112-99, but coming into the week, I thought they needed to get some of those games at home that were coming up after the Milwaukee game, and of course they got all three of them. So good start, right? I mean, exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah.
So now they got 4 more games on this East Coast swing. So again, so they pick up a few.
Right.
Should be hopefully on par, and then of course as usual get everybody healthy and playing out there. So again, good start on the rest of the homestand, but there's the speed bump in Boston tonight. So.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, and Boston's a pretty good team, so.
Yep.
I mean, that's not really a bad loss. I wouldn't consider.
No, it's something that you would figure on the road that you probably won't pick up.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's okay.
Yep.
Clippers had night off tonight, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they did. Fortunately, I mean, they managed to get a win yesterday against the Heat. They missed Kawhi, Paul, Beverly, and Batum in that game. All 4 of those guys weren't playing, and they still managed to pull off a win.
Yeah.
Honestly, couldn't believe it. I mean, Marcus Morris, I mean, that guy freaking balled out. I mean, 32 points. I mean, and Zubac's even freaking put up a hella good stat line. I mean, 22 points, 8 rebounds. Lou Williams is putting up double-doubles consistently right now, it feels like. Mm-hmm. Every game I've seen him with a double-double pretty much. Mm-hmm. In these last couple games at least. Yep. So, I mean, I hope that he can continue that trend.
I mean, he's one of those guys that he's got enough game to play with anybody in the league when he's on. So he can carry a team. He's proven it in the past.
Yeah, he did it in 2018, 2019. So
right. I mean, he's definitely capable, and when he gets it rolling, there's nobody that plays any better.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you're leaving it in pretty capable hands with him. Just don't ask him to play a whole lot of defense, and you'll be fine. But, I mean, with that being said, I mean, yeah, he's a heck of a scorer and has been for a long time.
You know who else really I've been pretty impressed with was Terrence Mann. He's really stepped up. I mean, last game against the Heat, he had 15 points. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do out there, and I feel like it's going to lead to him getting more minutes in the future. I mean,
exactly.
I really like how he plays, and he plays hard on both sides of the ball, and that's what we're looking for. People that are hard-nosed and play, just on both sides of the ball.
The best thing that happened for him was Pat Beverly going out.
Yeah.
Because now he's seeing a lot more minutes, and then obviously he's able to prove his worth a little bit when he gets out there.
Yep.
So now, I mean, it's lessened the blow of Beverly being on the sidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's picking up the slack along with Lou and some of these other guys. So, I mean, it's been a good thing. I mean, the Clippers' talent is pretty much second to none. So, I mean, there's not going to be an issue there as well.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
They're going to be able to play with, regardless of, who they play against. They got enough talent to play with anybody.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting rest of the season, I think.
I mean, it just has been unfortunate that we've had guys out with injuries, but from what I've
who hasn't, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, for your starters not playing, I mean that's a little bit rough.
No, that's an abundance, that's for sure.
But
they're better equipped to handle it than a lot of teams. So.
Yeah, I am hearing word that Kawhi and Batum are potentially going to be returning for the game against the Jazz. So
They're gonna need him.
so
The way the Jazz are playing these days. So
yeah. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into the Pistons, huh?
yeah, Pistons actually, surprisingly enough, are starting to play some pretty decent ball. And then just recently I read where, Blake Griffin's pretty much done. They're not going to play him again until after he's traded or cut or whatever they're going to do with him, which says a lot. I mean, the fact that they're like, okay, we're moving on. But, I mean, ultimately, they have been playing real competitively. They've lost a couple close games, but they've also been winning some of these lately. So if they can continue on that trend, I'm anxious to see kind of what Dennis Smith Jr. is going to bring to the game. I know he's got a lot of talent, but
a lot of athleticism, at least.
Yeah, we'll see what he's going to bring. Blake Griffin going away doesn't really bother me too much, even though I like Blake Griffin's talent. However, I did hear that the Nets are kind of looking at him. I'm like, holy shit. He goes to the Nets, like you said earlier, Bennett. I mean, if he goes to the Nets and he's
you can
healthy,
discount it for a championship.
I mean, that's a championship squad. They're going to the championship, I think, if he's healthy. Even if he's not there, I mean, they're playing awful good. So, but if they added a guy like him to that roster, I mean, there's only so many basketballs. That would be the only worry. But I mean, you put him on that.
Adds more depth.
Yeah, you put him on that team, and now all of a sudden that's pretty much unstoppable.
No,
so, I mean, that would be something that happens. But I don't know. I'm anxious to see kind of what happens with it because I would much rather the Pistons trade him out rather than just cut him or
at least get something.
Right. At least I don't care if it's third rounds or second rounds or whatever. Get something for it rather than watching him walk out the door for nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
and
kind
then
of
pay him off anyway. It's like, okay, well,
kind of like what they did with Drummond. I think they should. I mean, granted, I think Blake's contract and what you're getting out of him is a little bit worse than what Drummond was, providing. But if they can somehow get that same ordeal with Griffin, then that would be really good. I mean,
no, I'd like to see him get something out of it rather than just letting him walk. Because the guy does have ability. I mean, I still say it.
Yeah. No,
he's healthy. He's a very good player.
I know. I've been saying that for
I mean, if
forever.
he was to end up, I mean, the Nets are a great landing spot. I mean, there's a lot of teams that could really benefit from having him on the team. Hell, the Nuggets would probably enjoy him. Truthfully, another weapon. So, but shoot, I mean, it's just one of those things where, and I mean, I don't know, truthfully, I mean, what his value is market-wise because he's, not on the floor enough. So, but I mean, the Pistons are going to pay his contract off.
Really?
They cut him.
I mean, I certainly hope they don't do that, though.
I mean, if they cut him, then the Pistons are eating all that money.
They're
going to buy him out and say, see ya.
I just think that would be a stupid decision.
Well, I would agree, but at some point, I mean, they're trying to move in a different direction.
If he's a cancer, he's got to go.
I mean, and I think they're just like, at this point, there's not much. We're not going anywhere this year anyway.
Yeah.
So just move on. We'll see what happens from there.
Yeah.
I guess I'm saying that because I don't want to see him go to a team that could end up.
No, but I mean,
chip.
if the Pistons were to cut him, if the Pistons actually said, okay, we're just going to buy you out, send you on your merry way, which would be doing him a favor, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because then...
Well, he can go wherever he wants.
Right. Then he can sign with somebody. And if he decides like the Nets and says, hey, yeah, I'll take less money for the rest of this season, what the hell?
Yeah, or goes back to L.A., but in the yellow uniform.
Right. I mean, to win a championship, he would do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think he's going to... Put it this way, if the Pistons do him a favor and say, hey, we're just going to cut you, he's not going to sign. He's not signing with the Charlotte Hornets. I can guarantee you. He's not
that's
going
what
there.
I'm saying, though. Is I don't. From my standpoint, I wouldn't want that to happen.
He's not. He won't. He'll sign with somebody that's a contender, because that's what he's going to want to do. He'll take less money to win a championship.
Yeah.
At this point in his career.
Yeah, he is.
Well, the door's closing, so.
Yeah.
30s,
no, I mean
so.
he's And considering how many injuries he's played through and continues to play through, seriously, if he gets an opportunity to go to the Nets or somebody like that that's actually in a contending position, shit, he'll be a great fit.
I wouldn't even be opposed to the Clippers bringing him back on just to, so.
No, exactly. I mean, I'm sure he'll have his choice of teams because he'll be somebody will want him for sure.
Yeah. And I also heard that the Nets are also looking at Drummond though, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens there. But
Drummond to me has kind of just been kind of unlucky. I mean, for the amount of talent that he has and stuff. I mean, the Pistons. I mean, he played well for Detroit, and then he gets traded to the fucking Cavaliers. I'm like, well, you did him a nice favor there. But at the same time, it's like I was surprised they traded him within division.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, and I don't really have a soft spot for him because I mean, he is what he is. But I mean, I think he's another guy that's actually his talent level is very good, and he can be a missing piece if you're looking for a center. He can play at a high level, and he can give you a lot of rebounds, and he can put some points on the board. He can give you a double.
I think he's been averaging like 15 rebounds this year. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, and he's gonna put anywhere from 15 to 20 points on the board usually. When he plays. So I mean, he's got a lot of game, and he would be another guy though. I mean, if he went to the right team, he could make some noise. He could be the missing piece. Matter of fact, the Clippers actually should be looking at him, get rid of that fucking Zubats, mother Bob. Get that loser out of there and put him in. Now you got a contender.
Yeah. But no, great job by Detroit though, even with the trades. Though I mean, they've won 3 out of the last 4, and they played the Celtics. They beat the Nets. So again, it'd be much better if obviously they're playing better without these guys.
Right.
And so you might as well keep this chemistry rolling for them. What's the point of messing with it when you're just going to get a guy that's going to half it anyway?
No, exactly.
He doesn't want to be out there and X, Y, and Z. But we'll see what happens. But right now, I mean, they've caught a little fire in the bottle here, and so if they can keep this going, we'll see how far they go.
And they really should have beat the Lakers.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat them once, and then they took them.
They should have beat them multiple times.
Yeah. I mean, they took them to overtime, and I mean, they were in control of that.
Yeah.
And found a way to lose it. But I mean, like I said, I mean, as poorly as the season started, I was thinking, oh man, this is a train wreck. But as of late, they look more like a team that is trending in the right direction and playing some ball. So maybe my 24 wins might happen.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Exactly.
Hard to tell at this point.
But yeah, they're definitely playing better though. I mean.
Yeah. No, I'm not. They're not an embarrassment by any means. So, speaking of embarrassments, let's talk about the Red Wings. No.
Because you got Thunder down under, I guess, right?
Well, yeah, we didn't really talk about the Thunder actually. Yeah. I mean, Bryson's not here unfortunately, but we can at least give a little piece on it.
Yeah,
our thoughts on that.
Yeah, they played tonight, so we're down by a lot last time I watched it, and then somehow they were within a few, and they actually took the lead, and then Portland started hitting 3-pointers, and
that was pretty much all she wrote.
Yeah, that was pretty much gone after that. So,
yep.
But again, with this team, expectations should be low, because again, just trading people, it's the small market issue.
Yep.
With a lot of things, so eliminating a lot of high-priced talent, going through the draft and rebuilding, and so it's just going to take time. Yep. But if they hit the lottery jackpot like they did before with the, Durant's and the Westbrooks and the Hardens, then hey.
No, exactly. I mean, and they've actually, I think, in some regards, exceeded expectations up to this point, because they're kind of in the mix for a playoff spot, really, still. Yep. And so,
and in the West,
yeah, so. Exactly. That's even the bigger piece of it.
Yeah.
Is that they're not just showing up and taking a beating; they're putting teams in in positions where they better play some ball if they're going to beat them. And it's been nice to see like Shea's really kind of, in my opinion, he keeps on getting better and growing as a player to the point where I think before long it's going to be hard to keep him off an all-star team. His problem is you got Curry and some of these other guys that are just household names that good luck beating them out, especially in the fan vote.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that he's playing in Oklahoma doesn't help him either.
No.
But, I mean,
I
as
think
far as talent-wise, the kid's playing some great ball, and
I think
he's a good player.
I think hey, I get the pleasure of saying he went to the Clippers. The Clippers drafted him, so that's pretty cool. But I feel like in terms of play, he definitely could be an all-star. I mean, I feel like he's played well enough to even be in that conversation.
That's why I'm saying that.
But like they said, it's all about, the popularity. I mean, that's what gets you votes in this league, it feels like, in terms of all-star
consideration.
Yeah, I mean, so.
But, I mean, I think if you were to look at, what he's meant to the team and the production that he's putting up, I mean, you could definitely make a case that he should be an all-star. And
I definitely think so.
I mean, and his progression, in the short time he's been in the league has been really nice. And he's turned into a really nice player. And, I mean, who knows ultimately where he'll end up. I would imagine that he's in the future plans for the Thunder because, I mean, he's a young player himself, so why would you trade him out?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, unless it's one of those things where, hey, they're taking this top guard and whatever.
Yeah, I mean, just like the guy that plays for the Lakers now, right? Same thing, right?
Yeah.
Young talent, but he's gone.
Yeah.
So.
Who
Turner or whatever?
Sure. He had the
Horton Tucker?
Oh, Schroeder?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Schroeder? Yeah.
Yeah, so, again, same thing, right? Nice player.
Yeah.
But...
Well, that too, and then
you got to move it, right? The piece moves, right? Just like, again, all the mid-market teams, that's what they do. They get nice little pieces, but then they can't get the whole group together, so they got to send them
because,
off.
once Shea's contract comes up, where, okay, now we got to pay him top-level money, then it'll be a situation where maybe he moves on.
Yep.
But, I mean, up to this point, I mean, like I said, nothing but respect for the kid, and... I kind of was a critic when he first came out, and I'm more of a critic of Doc Rivers at the time because I felt like Doc Rivers was like, no matter what happened, he was on the floor. Mm-hmm. He was able to play through his mistakes and stay on the floor, because at the time I was a big Jerome Robinson fan, and I'm thinking, oh, it'd be nice if Jerome can get the time like Shea's getting. Mm-hmm. And Jerome just sat on the bench all the time. And it was like he never saw the floor unless it was a blowout.
Yeah.
And I always kind of felt like, Doc Rivers did him an injustice. But after seeing Shea and how he's progressed, I can totally understand why he was doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. The kid is just a player.
Yeah.
And you can't keep that kind of talent off the floor.
Yeah, and he saw him every day to make that judgment call from it.
Right. No, exactly. I mean, and I was a harsh critic of it at the time because I'm like, what the fuck? Jerome's a nice player, and Jerome's just kind of been one of these hard luck kids that he just hasn't, for whatever reason, it hasn't all come together for him. Mm-hmm. And it still hasn't. And he's in Washington and he still can't. But, I mean, again, now you're playing behind Bradley Beal and Westbrook, so good luck seeing the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but their time's due here pretty soon, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think, just like everybody else, those pieces will probably be going here.
Yeah.
So.
No, exactly. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where some guys just tend to get the push in the right direction that allows them to be successful.
Yeah, you get the Steve DeBerg treatment.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, talk about
enough said right there.
Yeah, talk about teams. Talk about teams that really underperformed. Look no further than the Washington Wizards. I mean, geesh. I honestly had pretty high expectations for them coming into this year.
When Westbrook went there, you mean?
Yeah. I had high expectations.
Especially being in the East.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need too much to
contend.
Yeah.
So, granted, I mean, they've had some injuries and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, come on.
Yeah,
You're in the East.
Something's not clicking.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't know whether it's just Beal and him don't play well together or whatever it is, but they've definitely had a better record when Westbrook hasn't played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, than when he's been on the floor.
Yeah, and that's honestly kind of weird. That's not something I would expect.
Well,
I mean, especially with a.
you get there's only so many basketballs to go around.
Yeah.
And I mean, Westbrook's one of these ball dominant guys that usually has to have the ball in his hands. And that's not necessarily a knock on him. I mean, he's a great player, but sometimes when you got an all, you know, I mean, I don't know. There's guys that shoot the ball much better than Beal shoots it.
Yeah.
If you leave him open, he's knocking it down.
Mm-hmm.
And hence why, you know, you're seeing the point production you're seeing out of that guy. He's averaging what, close to 30 a game. I mean, he's
Or
definitely.
more.
I think he's in the top 2 or 3 in the league,
Mm-hmm.
point production wise. And so, I mean, when you're shooting the ball like he's shooting it, I mean, hence, give me the fucking ball.
Yeah.
You know, so I totally understand it, but I mean, it's just one of those things. Sometimes people don't mesh together. The team doesn't mesh. It's just the
You gotta have
talent.
the right personalities.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of like last year's Clippers. I mean, I just think there was a lot of dysfunction off the court.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think guys liked each other. I don't think Carroll got along with Paul George and some of these other guys. And it's like, we don't need that kind of, you know, stuff going on. So,
All right.
just nip it in the bud, get rid of people.
Yeah, just hang out with LPL and you'll be fine.
Exactly.
You know?
Hang out with Lemon Pepper, mother Bob.
Yeah, you'll be good to go. You got your night booked. You know exactly where you're at.
No,
Yep.
exactly.
There's no guessing.
You can guarantee you're going to have a nice little time with that. Because, you know, those guys be making it rain.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, speaking of making it rain, I think we'll cut this one on short, huh?
Yeah, I think
So-
that's a good time to stop it. So,
Yep.
but anyway, you guys, you know, we appreciate you guys checking in with us. This is another Tuned In Sports video. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, so you get all the up-to-date sports information that we provide almost on a daily basis, it seems like these days. So, again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Steve.
Bennett.
No, I'm done.
And we'll see you guys in the next video.